Purple People podcast fans, hey, we know none of you wanted to watch the Philadelphia Eagles play, so we are going live during Thursday Night Football because we would rather talk Vikings football than watch the garbage Eagles play behind
Hey, come
me.
on now.
I am not going to be...
The Eagles are a good team. I have no problem against the players on the Eagles.
Adam, I will not be classy with the Eagles right now.
They need to get their butt stomped in, so...
Yeah, I agree with Dorian. I'm on the same page as Dorian Foley right now.
We do got to get Dorian to flip that phone though, so we don't have all that wasted space on the sides. That's what we got to do.
Oh my God, you kill me with this, man.
We got to get that flip.
So I am Kyle West, following my way through this intro this week because we do not have Kyle Smith with us, who is our intro guy. But he'll be back next week.
Yeah, he's rocking out with his band right now.
Literally rocking out. He's probably got the microphone, singing some Metallica tunes right now or whatever. He's the cool guy in the group.
He has a voice of a rock god.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And if you guys have him on Snapchat, he was throwing grenades at work. Actual, yeah.
Actual, literally, huh?
Like actual fucking grenades.
This isn't some slang term that I just don't know.
No, actual, like you pitch it and that shit explodes.
See, I figured this was something like a diss track or something with Eminem, and I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
Which comes out tomorrow, by the way. His response to Machine Gun Kelly.
That'll do it for this week's episode.
The only thing I love Machine Gun Kelly for is getting power bombed off the stage by Kevin Owens. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. We got Dorian Foley with us this week. Dorian, thanks for coming on.
Oh man,
we've missed you.
My pleasure. I missed you guys too, man. I
yeah.
You real quick for the support and love and everything like that. You know, same to Mr. Smith. Really means a lot.
And Adam Carlson.
Yeah.
I'm here. I got my I was hoping to have this kind of setup. I was worried about having a little bit low light, but I'm thinking this setup right here works.
I like it. I like the Vikings flag. We're episode number 317. Holy crap.
It feels like just a couple weeks ago we did 300.
Yeah, I know, and sometimes, for as much as we fumble through this, it probably feels like we're still a new podcast, but no, we've been here for 317 episodes, somehow. Center Stage is the name of the show, because we are going to be talking about some drama at the center position.
We sure are, and it was definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm. But first... Yeah, we have lots of
get the logic.
We have lots of quick hits to get to. This is kind of going to be our quick hit episode. I think Adam and I discussed just lots of different fun things to talk about this week.
Yeah, quite a bit leading up to the Vikings regular season kickoff.
Mm-hmm. But I think first things first, let's remind everyone to join our Purple People podcast Survival League.
Right. I mean, as long as the game that you're picking hasn't kicked off yet, you can sign in and get in and try to win some cool Viking stuff. I've already got a couple items set away for the winner, so hopefully people are ready and excited and made their selections. I looked, and every team except one so far has made their picks, but we need to get some more teams in there. We need some more competition, and we need to have a lot of fun. So let's do this, guys.
Yeah, we give away lots of really cool prizes for this thing every year. We started out with what? We gave away a jersey.
Yeah.
And then last year, boy, we had a really good package.
Yeah, I went off. I did a little too much, I think.
That was good stuff, though.
Package? What was in the package? Ooh.
Oh, it was a jersey, some autographed pictures, towels, those can koozies, bunch of really other stuff that I picked up along the way. So
wasn't there like a lighted Vikings sign?
Oh, that was I think that was that was in that one.
Yeah, that was in that one. Like, that's some good stuff that you guys can get just for being a fan of the show and for playing along with us. Like, it's our way of saying thank you to to everyone who's part of the Purple People podcast family with us.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have been with us since the start, so it's awesome to have you all here.
Yeah, I've seen Thomas Buge was commenting on the post, and I know he plays every year with us, and Thomas has been with us since the very beginning.
Yeah, and we got people that jump in the chat all the time. Jakes is here, and we've got Yang Yaj here just hanging out in the chat, watching the game and hanging out with us, so we always appreciate that.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's get on to some actual news. Pat Elflein has been activated off the PUP list, but hey, yo, he is not expected to play against the 49ers. We are looking at newly acquired center Brett Jones to be starting.
Yeah, this is what we were going to use for our main topic since the title, but
it don't matter. We're doing it.
And
we're doing it right now.
Both those things are despite a report from Brian Baldinger that said that Danny Isadora was going to start at center this week, despite the Vikings trading for a center and trying to get Pat Elflein ready to go. Mm-hmm. I was really surprised to see this tweet, and it didn't make sense to me. I posted it in our podcast chat group, and I was like, what is this and why?
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see that this was just somebody who was talking out their butt Ace Ventura style.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, I think that going with the guy that has starts at center over a person playing that new position in their NFL career, yeah, I think you want to go with that familiarity. The guy you traded in to be that anchor, I would have been shocked to see anything else happen. But again, Jones is on. I think it's Jones, right? I keep saying Jones. Brett Jones. Yeah, Jones is going to be there until Elflein's ready to roll. So they're just looking for him to hold over and then be depth. Maybe even have a spot on the interior of the line. Who knows? Mm-hmm. We'll just have to wait and see.
If we can speculate a little bit, do we know when Pat Elflein would be ready?
You could try to ask Mike Zimmer.
No. That was maybe my favorite answer that he's ever given at his press conference. What was the phrasing for that?
I think it was not you.
Yeah, someone asked him who's going to be starting at center, and he's not you. and then he said it total deadpan, and then just stared at the guy. But it was a joke, but it was a very serious response. He was not telling.
Right. And at this point, everyone knows that those questions aren't going to get answered.
Yeah, don't ask him personnel or injury-related questions.
You're not going to get nothing.
Yeah, injuries will come out when the team will announce them. And who's starting, he's never going to answer who's starting questions.
Well, at least we got the first on the show where we did our main topic at the beginning of the show.
This is what happens when you leave me in charge.
But yeah, the offensive line is definitely going to be something to watch in week one. There's going to be a lot of new faces in new places, but hopefully they'll be able to do their job and hold up enough to allow running lanes and quarterback being protected. Fingers crossed there. I'm
a little worried about the line. The line feels a little kind of patchwork at the moment, but
little shaky too,
little shaky. Yeah.
Next year is going to be great because Brian O'Neill graded out pretty well during the preseason. I like him as being able to come in as a backup right now, even though he's not bulked up to where he needs to be, and he still has to work on a lot of his handwork and stuff like that. But with another year under his belt, he is going to be that starting right tackle. And they're going to be able to take Rashad Hill and move him back to a swing spot where I feel he's most effective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So for now, they're just trying to hold things over. But the long-term answer is there. All Rashad Hill needs to do is show that he can compete. And Rashad Hill hasn't been slacking himself either. He's been showing a lot of dedication on social media and through some of the beat writers about his new diet, how he's been working so hard. Just little changes he's made in his life to improve his overall health and speed and technique. It's really cool to see him doing all this because I really want to see the Vikings offensive line come together and do well. And if you can have extra talented offensive linemen, you can't go wrong there.
I mean, linemen seem to go down so quick, and not just for us, but that just happens in the NFL. And you look at Nick Easton is a guy that I'm a big fan of, and then he's a good starter and he's a good depth to have on the team, and he gets injured, and you see how that affects multiple positions on the offensive line. So
Nick Easton, like Joe Berger, was a guy that didn't get enough respect for all he did.
No, not at all.
The Vikings are going to miss Joe Berger this year in a big way. I think fans are going to realize just how good he was at what he did and how little he got paid for what he did compared to others.
Yeah. I think they'll miss Nick Easton, too.
One of the things that I thought was funny while I'm talking about players getting paid is recently Mike Zimmer was asked if he was going to hand off the defensive play calling abilities to George Edwards. Mm-hmm. He said, it's something I think about every day. He said, they're paying me to do 2 jobs, and they're only paying me to do 1 job, and I'm doing 2. I thought that was really funny because he really is.
I think he should get a pay raise. I don't know how that works, but yeah, pay Mike Zimmer more money. He's earned it. He deserves it.
Not Gruden money, though.
Oh, hell.
No, not Gruden money.
Don't give him that Gruden money.
But I guess it doesn't really affect the salary cap, does it?
I don't think no.
I don't think so. So it don't matter. I don't care then. Pay him John Gruden money. I don't care what you do. It's coming out of my paycheck. I don't care.
Well, the Wilfs will be able to make that money because this is a quick hit a little bit down the road, but the Wilfs are planning on building a massive, luxurious hotel right next to Vikings training facility down in Eagan. That facility might be used for players coming in for training camp. It could be used for when teams come in to play the Vikings. Could be used for fans. And also, Eagan itself is a really growing and developing area. So
I've heard that.
It's a nice place to visit, nice place to hang out, and it's right around so many things that I think fans would really enjoy. So building this hotel just increases the property value, and it should see the Vikings portfolio as a whole and the Wilfs portfolio just increase in value.
I'm not super familiar with the area, Adam, but I remembered one of the complaints that fans had about the move from Mankato was that the potential lack of hotels and areas for people to stay in. So
yeah, my buddy Clint came up and he ended up staying about 15 to 20 minutes away from the training facility, and it was not really something that they wanted to do. So maybe this hotel, even though it's going to be a luxury hotel, hopefully it's not super high priced, but hopefully it'll provide somebody with something.
Don't the Wilfs come from a real estate background?
Oh, yes, they do.
So this is right up their alley. This is what they do.
This is their thing.
Look at how well everything else has turned out they've built. I mean, U.S. Bank Stadium is phenomenal. The, TCO Performance Center is awesome. I'm sure that this hotel, they seem to know how to build stuff and make it quality. It's just cool all around.
Yeah.
I mean, I just hope that it's affordable for people like you and I, that would like plan trips and stuff to go out, especially with training camp, to go check, check them out. So
see, I'm not saying roadside motel prices, but if you're going to a hotel where they've got some services where you can get some room service or a massage or, the pool and the hot tub and the spa and all that. Yeah, you're going to pay a little bit extra money, but you still want to have that be affordable, maybe not cheap, but affordable.
Right.
I'm sure they'll have a coupon day for us peasants at training camp.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. What's next in the notes? We have 2018 team captains. Kirk Cousins, no surprise that the quarterback gets to be a captain of the team. Riley Reif, Kyle Rudolph, Everson Griffin, Linval Joseph, and Anthony Barr will be our 2018 team captains for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm surprised there's no Harrison Smith or Xavier Rhodes on that list.
I think that when you're going through, though, you want kind of one player in each sort of spot. So I was a little surprised they doubled up on the D-line with Griffin and Joseph. But to me, the big surprise here was Riley Reif. I mean, this is, his second year with Minnesota. And they could have gone with Adam Thielen, which I think would have been maybe a little better choice.
But is this voted on by the players?
I believe it is.
So, I mean, we don't know. Riley Reif must be a really great locker room leader.
Yeah, he must be awesome in the locker room, really helpful with all the players and everything. There's so much we don't get to see as fans that it's hard to talk about stuff like this, but
Yeah,
we all
none of
know that
us
Adam
know.
Thielen is a passionate fan of the game that
Mhm.
helps out his teammates and knows a lot. So I was surprised to see that he wasn't a teammate this year. That was named a team captain, but congratulations to those 6 guys. And I think that in the future we're going to see Eric Kendricks slip in there somewhere.
Yeah, I would think so too.
I'm a little surprised with Anthony Barr. Just a little. I mean, just with the whole contract, I don't want to say dispute, but
I think that might be part of the reason they made him a team captain, trying to sweeten him up a little bit,
Well,
put that C on your chest. Come on, please stay.
Right? We value you.
Let's see here. Longtime Minnesota Vikings athletic trainer Fred Zambra has passed away. He was the franchise's first athletic trainer from 1961 all the way to 1998. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long tenure with the team. After that, he became the coordinator of medical services until 2001, and then transitioned to a senior consultant and team historian. So I bet he had his hands in the, a large part of the team's history, for one thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But the Vikings Museum that they've put in, where is that, TCO?
Yep.
Yeah, so I bet he had a huge part in that as well, too.
The funniest thing that I saw about this Zambra thing is that you had Bud Grant saying the most Bud Grant thing ever. He was talking about how much he loves Fred Zambra, Freddie Z, as they called him. Mm-hmm. And he said Freddie Z was a professional. People would come to him and bitch and complain about the coaching staff, the practices, and he never came to me with it once.
Wow.
That's awesome.
To have that kind of confidentiality, you can gain so much trust with your team. You always need that somebody to vent to. And for so many players that when they're hurt and they're injured, and like Robert Smith said when he was coming back from his knee injury, he said that he hated Freddie Z every day for pushing him, but he loved him the same way just for doing the same thing. So yeah, Zambra had his hand in so many things.
It's cool how there's so many people that have been attached to the Vikings for such a long time that have been a part of this organization. You even look at like Dennis Ryan, like our athletic trainer, has been here forever. And
going all the way down to the Vikings' first seamstress that just retired earlier this year.
Yeah, they've had a lot of really long tenured employees. 61 to 98. I mean, good grief.
Probably got a pretty good retirement plan, but we decided to hang it up.
Yeah, there are people who switch jobs every year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I wish I knew more about him. It's not a name that I was super familiar with, but
no. When I first heard the name, I was thinking, is this a player that I forgot about? But then Adam Patrick reminded me over on the Viking Age. I was like, oh yes. Mm-hmm. And despite it being a name that I'd say average to casual NFL fans, or maybe even a lot of Vikings fans that don't look off the field, which there's no problem with being those kind of fans.
Sure.
But yeah, those harder core fans that dive deep into everything, they definitely know and appreciate everything that Zambra did. Freddie Z got a lot of cool shout outs on Instagram and Twitter from so many Vikings legends saying how much that he meant to them when they were hurt or struggling or just needed someone to vent to. So yeah, and the fact that he became the team historian, who better to be the team historian than the guy that lived through the whole thing?
Yeah.
So how much history from 61 to 88? That's like the team's history.
98,
almost.
Man.
98.
998.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It's a crazy long time.
See, you hear stories like that, and you just kind of go back and just like, damn.
Yeah.
At least won the Super Bowl. Just to add to that, to the history and to the legacy, if we could, just got that one. Doesn't matter, which year that we went to the Super Bowl, but you know what I mean? But like, just something for somebody like him that like could take with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it would mean a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah,
that have been with the organization,
right.
and fans as well too. We look at what was the name of our the sweet little old lady that's been the Vikings fan, Adam.
Oh, Millie.
Yeah. Fans like that are just like deserve to see it in their lifetime.
For sure.
Yep. Let's see here. Former Minnesota Vikings running back Jerick McKinnon has a torn ACL. That's unfortunate. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, a lot of fans were really excited to see what he could do in a more featured role in an offense that's kind of learning to find itself with Jimmy G at the helm. It's sad to see a player get hurt like that when they're working so hard to prove themselves and move up the ladder in the NFL. This was his big opportunity, but he said on Twitter that he's going to be back next year better than ever, so hopefully that can happen.
That's a tough break. I mean, we all know how hard he worked to earn himself a contract. And there were a lot of fans who wanted him to stay in Minnesota. And you don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. We talk about that all the time. But especially a player like Jerick McKinnon that I think all Vikings fans respected. And then he gets hurt when he gets his opportunity with another team to prove that he can be that go-to back. That's just unfortunate.
Ditto, but yeah, Mr. West, you sound all serious. But what did you say in the?
You call me out on that. It's better that he did it as a 49er than a Viking. I don't care.
You're crying, laughing when I read that. I was like, man.
Well, I'm just saying, man. If you're gonna tear an ACL, do it when you're on another team.
That's a little cold, man. A little cold. But in other former running back news, Adrian Peterson was named the starting running back for the Redskins, huh?
Yeah, I seen that. Good for him. Congratulations.
What year is it? That's like, I don't know, my Doc Brown,
2007? No, 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see him back on the field tearing things up.
He's going to have a game where he's going to come out. Maybe it'll be week 1. And he'll look like Adrian Peterson. And then Father Time gets us all, man. And then it's just afterwards, same thing. That's what happened when he was with Arizona.
He flashed a couple times there.
Yep. And then it was back to not much. But, I mean, he'll still have his games, man, where you'll watch him and he'll look solid. I don't know if he can do it for a full season, but I'm excited. I'm excited and happy for him to get another shot because he's so close to breaking a lot of records.
Yeah, he's not going to like running behind that Redskins offensive line very much, I don't think.
TJ Clemmings.
Clemmings got released. He's a free agent now, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, bring him in. Bring him back Minnesota, man. bring the Teej back to Minnesota.
Oh, man.
What is funny as it is how our offensive line is. It's like, we need all the help we can get.
We're not. No, we're not that bad.
Hey, Jeremiah Searles might be able to come back this year, and I bet you that if he does, and Minnesota's hurting, we could see him. Because he got released earlier this year, too, based on an injury.
We'll just call Joe Berger out of retirement.
Hey, when he sounded the horn and they talked to him, he said, nope. He said, I'm done.
Really?
Did he drop all the weight, Adam?
Yeah, he already did.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, he
was slimmer in that the one game that he blew the... I can never say that word. The Gallahorn.
Yeah, the Gallahorn.
Yeah, yeah. He was already like on some Mark Schlereth stuff. Like he was like slim and trim,
Isn't it crazy? Like you watch how you see how bulked up these players are to play, and then as soon as they retire, that they can just drop all that weight.
So you think they'd just go and bulk up, get off their diet, not exercise as hard?
Yeah.
You think it would go the other way?
Man, okay, look at Chad Greenway. Chad Greenway looks like, like a Subway commercial. Like,
he does.
Yeah, he does.
He absolutely does.
It goes to show what kind of amazing shape these athletes got to be in to play in the NFL and not get hurt, to have that much extra weight that you're carrying around just to play football.
Jake Z in the chat says, I heard Matt Khalil is injured, and let's be honest, it doesn't matter if Matt Khalil's injured or not.
Better them than us.
You've been using that line a lot today.
Yeah. Didn't he? I think Matt Khalil also deleted his social media.
He did. Again.
Man, whatever. Like I always say about Matt Khalil, fuck that guy.
He has a real hard time taking criticism, especially from fans. And does not like baseball caps, I guess.
But he instigates the stuff.
Yeah, that's a good
so
callback.
that's the thing that gets me. He'll go. No, I don't want to say on a tirade or whatever, but he'll post something, make a comment, and then wants to criticize people, fans like us, like you and me, that want to jab back at him.
Yeah.
It's like some bully stuff. It's okay for me to say whatever to you or do to you, but if you do it to me, it's World War III. Oh, how dare you?
Right.
To give me what I was giving you. Get the hell out of here. I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm not trying yeah, but no. So forget that guy. Yeah, there we go. Forget that guy.
Yeah.
Matt Khalil. I'm sorry. Do I sound bitter? Am I bitter? I guess
we're all bitter over Matt Khalil
because he should still be with us, and he should still be contributing, not this all of a sudden on bonkers fall apart guy.
See, I don't mind a bust. A bust comes in 2 years later, they're trash and they're out. He comes in, he has a fantastic rookie year. Yeah. Makes you think he's going to be a long-term answer, and then just kind of like drags you along. Those are the ones that hurt the most. Like Andy Dalton. He's good. Andy Dalton's good enough to be, a starting quarterback, but he's not good enough to where they shouldn't be bringing in competition for him. It's that middle level of, almost good enough. Like he's got the potential, but no, maybe, I don't know.
Like our Phillip Rivers discussion.
Yeah, exactly like the Phillip Rivers discussion
earlier. We don't care about Phillip Rivers. We're not going to talk about Phillip Rivers. We're already off on enough of a side tangent.
The Chargers are going to Super Bowl this year, according to Shannon.
No bullshit. We have a couple big topics to talk about here. The first one, Bryan Robinson released.
Yeah, that was the shocker. The veteran pass rushing defensive end is gone. 96 questions down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Robinson, of course, had a lot of veteran leadership on that defensive line, was part of the heart and soul of that defense for a long, long time. I have not heard of anything about his intentions following his release. He said he was going to release a statement, but then I never saw it.
I've seen one where he thanked the Vikings fans. I think that was on Instagram or something.
Not sure if he's going to come back to the NFL, play somewhere else. I kind of hope he doesn't, but selfishly. But if he chooses to, that I completely understand. I'll still respect him and everything. But he was one that I always hoped would retire a Viking.
I don't imagine that he wants to play anywhere else. I think that the Vikings will keep him on speed dial in case something should come up midway through the season and we need to bring him back. I think he will come on board. It sucks because he's a fan favorite, but at the same time, man, the depth on that defensive line is insane.
Yeah,
for Minnesota, and you have to keep the young. You have to keep the young guys. I know it sucks to release a player that we all like, but it is what it is.
I just don't I agree with it. At the end of the day, it's a business, and us as fans, we tend to forget that at times, especially when cases like this. But I really wanted him to, his last hurrah. Pretty much, he was going to retire, I believe, after this season anyway.
Yes, right. He was. Yeah,
that was his intention. So he wanted to just go out. Okay, guns a blazing. Okay. I was just one more round, you know what I'm saying? One last time. And I just don't like that we didn't give him that opportunity. That's so selfishly of him. It's even if he didn't get any playing time or anything like that, I just wanted him to be a part of the ride with us,
But I think they were at the point where Stephen Weatherly wasn't going to be able to stick around. If they tried putting Bauer on the practice squad, someone would have picked him up.
He was going to get picked up, yeah. NFL rosters need to be bigger than what they are. I think 53 is too low of a number. I'd like to see it go to at least 55. That's just my opinion.
Jake's got a tough question for us in the chat.
Oh,
he wants to know if we think Bryan Robinson is going to get into the Vikings Ring of Honor.
No,
I'm going to say no.
What?
I don't see. I got to agree with Adam. I don't think so either.
Oh, come on. Just based on.
I know he's being rough, but I don't think he's quite. I don't know.
We all like him because he's really good and entertaining, but you don't get into people are gonna hate me for this. You don't get into the Ring of Honor because you were funny doing 98 questions.
It's not the ring of really good.
Yeah, it's the Ring of Legends. Like, yeah, I don't let me get shit for that, but
we're not gonna get a lot of fan about that.
That's for like Jared Allen and Adrian Peterson and like.
Hey, then I just threw him out a couple minutes ago. What about Chad Greenway?
Chad?
Does he make our Ring of Honor?
You can make a stronger case for Chad. Chad had a nice long career where he was very effective throughout the entire.
Led the team in tackles a couple years. Led the NFL in tackles. I think you got a better case for Greenway.
I think
that's
so
one
too.
I think I'd go either way on. If the Vikings said they were going to put him in, I'd say cool. I get it.
I could see Chad going in.
But Bryan Robinson, no.
No, I don't think so. On Bryan.
I'd be surprised to see that happen. Mm-hmm. Even though he's been a contributor, been a vocal leader in the locker room, I don't know. Here is
best case for Bryan, and I have no idea if it would be something he would be interested in, but he could stick around this team with K-Fan and do videos or sideline reports like what Ben Weaver does, and he could be around this team for a long, long, long time, like Greg Coleman or whatever. And that would be a great way for him to stay around the Vikings and be respected and do interviews with players and whatnot. All
right, there's one more possible Ring of Honor candidate in the chat that we're asked to discuss. Kevin Williams.
I've always wondered, can they put collectively Kevin and Pat Williams in the Vikings Ring of Honor, like both of them on the same banner, like Kevin and Pat Williams? Yes. Individually, oh god, I'm gonna get more hate for this. Individually, no, I don't think you can just put. I don't think you can just put Kevin Williams up.
I'd love to put Kevin Williams up. I would, but I don't know. It's if the Vikings did it, cool. If not, I get that too. I don't think he's going to get in.
I say yes, just for the simple fact we kind of pulled Kevin Williams out our ass that year when we drafted him. We rushed for time. Just pick that guy. And, he was a Minnesota Viking. So I say just on that alone, just that randomness, and then what he did and what he contributed. Yes,
but I will say this: Terence Newman is not going to get in.
No.
This gets into this difficult question that pops up all the time too about retiring jersey numbers, and it's like you can't retire every jersey number of every player that you like.
Right.
Because you just have to have jerseys for people to play in. And the Vikings already have a fair share of numbers retired. I don't necessarily think that you don't need to retire 84. People are going to hate me this episode. You don't really
you're being bold this episode. I like it.
Yeah, you don't really need to start retiring 84 and 22 and 28 and 69 for Jared Allen and all this stuff. It's only for really, really special players that you retire a jersey.
But let's be honest, Adrian Peterson's a Hall of Fame caliber player. When he retires, he'll go in the Hall of Fame. Randy Moss is a Hall of Famer. Jared Allen might be, I don't know, maybe second, third ballot, maybe, right?
No, Jared will be in.
Yes.
He'll be in.
And you don't have to retire 84 because since he's in the Hall of Fame, that 84 that in purple is enshrined forever. So I don't think the Vikings should have a ceremony to
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that 84 is still in rotation.
Yeah, and guys like Michael Jenkins can wear it.
Well, yeah, or Chad Beebe, or even I was a big fan of Cordero Patterson wearing 84. I think that's cool. I think it's cool to track the lineage of a jersey number and look at Harrison Smith with 22, and then
Paul Krause.
Oh, Krause was 22 beforehand. Yeah. Or
22 should technically, I believe it should be retired just because Paul Krause was just such an innovator at his position. You know what I mean? Like,
When you say ball hawk, you should think of Paul Krause.
Thank you.
That man, oh my God.
So, I mean, yeah, his number should be retired. And I mean, there are some people that kind of feel, even though Harrison Smith is as nice and as great as he is, they felt like that number should have been retired long before, like, when Paul retired.
I don't have to explain to you guys how much I love Paul Krause. Every time I get an opportunity to meet that man, I do it. I've gotten so many things autographed from him, pictures of him, made up that photo for him that he has in his house now, which is amazing. Nice. I'm just really excited because I've got a jersey. So next time there's a Paul Krause signing, I'm gonna go get that thing signed, and that's gonna go on my wall.
Nice.
We got a couple more people in the chat. Shira Rizzo says, should Bryan Robinson sound the horn week 1? I'd be cool with that.
I'd say next year. Next year. A little too early to be bringing him in. He probably doesn't want to do that after just being cut, to be perfectly honest.
I know. Get the fuck off the team. Oh, by the way, you want to blow the horn?
That'd be kind of a dick move, but like next year, I'm all for that.
As soon as Robinson wants to, he should be good to go.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're going to have sound the horn for week 1. I hope it's a Vikings legend.
Oh, Bud Grant.
Since we'll ruin a little later quick hit here, but since they're honoring the 98 Vikings at the game for week 1, I assume it's going to be either one or some players from that team.
I would think maybe Randy. Well, no, Randy will probably be doing Fox Sports or whatever, so he's probably not available.
Robert Smith would be cool.
Yeah. Dante Culpepper, man. Well, I guess though he was after 98, but I want Dante to...
Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, Randall Cunningham. There you go.
Yeah, there are definitely some options, and I do think it's going to be that 98 team.
Or Gary Anderson. Anyone?
Maybe.
Bueller?
You never know.
Bueller?
We've got real purple and gold Minnesota Vikings in the chat, giving us a big skull while he watches the Dirty Birds play.
We are all fans of not the Eagles tonight, that's for sure.
Hey, I'm just rooting for my fantasy football teams here. As long as one of these teams in the NFC loses, the Vikings are going to be one game up on them, so all right.
Exactly.
Hey, did you guys know Terence Newman retired?
Yes. Yeah, that was a bit surprising. I loved that he was a coach and mentor on the field, but now he's going to be a coach and mentor off the field.
Yes, but don't call him Coach Newman. I learned that in his press conference.
Really?
He does not like to be called Coach Newman. He thinks it's weird.
Yeah, I could see that being a bit of an adjustment. But Terence Newman said that if he was needed, he'd suit up for the Vikings, but it turns out that is not something he can do.
Yeah, I think we learned he can't do that.
Yeah, unless he was on the team's 53-man roster after final cuts, he would not be able to come back and play for the Vikings. So he is done for the NFL this year, and since this was going to be his last year in the NFL anyway, we've seen the last of Newman in a football uniform.
It was surprising, but again, you look at the rest of the depth on the roster.
Oh, no. Come on. Come on.
You got to have a roster spot for Marcus Sherrills, Adam.
I still hate that they lump him in with the cornerbacks because he's really not a cornerback. No. He's a special teams ace.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He made it again. I mean, and that's, I don't mean this to be negative, but
he made it because Terence retired.
Yeah, that's pretty much Bryan Robinson and Terence Newman being gone opened up the door for a couple of these younger players to sneak in and, a couple of veterans to stick around.
Trevor Siemian for some reason.
Oh, God. Okay.
But no, back to Terence Newman. Yeah, it was surprising for sure. I don't think any of us expected that to happen when it did. I thought it was fake the first time. I'm like, this is a real story? Like, oh, okay. It's really cool, though, that he's joining the staff immediately as a defensive backs coach.
Right.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
Just a one-day transition. Signing his retirement paper and then signing another new contract.
With the same team. That's cool.
So weird. But it also shows the amount of respect that he has for this Vikings roster, as well as Coach Zimmer and the organization as a whole, that he's willing to step off the field, give these younger guys a shot. It is, I believe, because Terence Newman announced his retirement. I don't know if the Vikings were going to cut him anyway. I hope that wasn't the case. But this opens up the door for the Vikings to allow, Holton Hill to sneak onto the roster, who's got the size and the technique and a lot of the potential to become a really good corner in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that's what happened there and not, we're going to cut you anyway, so do you want to come being a coach? I hope that's not the way it went down.
You guys, you want to save face? Yeah, because your ass was out the door. So you might as well retire. It'd be cool. We'll still pay you some money and go out there and teach the kids something.
I'm sure him and Mike Zimmer, they've known each other for a long time. I'm sure they had a big discussion about all of the potential ways that this could go. It seemed to me from his presser that this was more of his decision to retire than the team trying to force him out, because he made the comment multiple times about how he didn't want to take up a roster spot at his age, and this was kind of like his words here, and force a younger guy who should make the roster to not make the roster because they felt the need to keep him on because he's been with Mike Zimmer for so long in the league. So it sounded like it was kind of his decision to almost do what was best for the organization.
Yeah, it seemed like a selfless move, not one that was forced by the organization. So I'm always happy to see that.
And, he'll have the respect of the players, too, because he was literally just suited up and playing with them during training camp. Oh,
and he's been familiar. There have been players all over on that defense and even the offense that have praised him for some of the things they've taught him as far as little tips and techniques to be in the right position or to keep up with some players. So it's not just those defensive backs that are benefiting from Newman being around. It's almost everyone on the roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't go up to him and you can't be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about because you've never – you just played like last week.
Right?
Yeah.
You might be able to tell Coach Gray, yeah, you don't know what it's like to be a cornerback in this day and age. Terence Newman would be like,
give me some pads. Let me put some pads on. I'll show you. I can still beat you in coverage. Let's see here. We got punter news. Yeah, we got punter news to talk about, Adam. Ryan Quigley, screw him. He ain't with us no more. We got some other guy. His name is what? Matt Wiley?
Weil?
Matt Weil?
Matt Wiley? I don't know.
He was with the
Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Steelers fans were really impressed with him during the preseason, saying that they were hoping that he would be the punter for the Steelers. Instead, the Steelers went with the veteran, let the young guy go. And I don't know. I mean, he's bounced around the NFL a bit. He had small stays with Carolina, Dallas, Atlanta, Arizona.
I don't know. You can't get too worried about that because punters and kickers do that. And
they do.
And long snappers. They all jump around the league.
They do. And I was a little surprised about Quigley being released since he didn't have a touchback on the season last year. And his punts, although they weren't boomers, there were ones that were able to be in coverage. There were ones that the special teams coverage were able to get to pretty quickly and not allowing a lot of long returns. So I was a little surprised to see that since he was so effective in the field position game. And I hate when changes are made on special teams units. If you can have those three players together, the punter, the long snapper, and the kicker, if you can have that unit together, especially with the punter being the holder, you can really have this unit that's a cohesive unit working together and consistently able to get points on the board, whether it's field goals, extra points, handling the snaps on the punts and everything. You want that unit to be as cohesive as possible. So hopefully the Vikings have finally found those combination of players that can stick around for the long term now. But it's so weird. New punter, new kicker, but same long snapper. So fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you, Adam. I really didn't notice anything that Ryan Quigley did that should have lost him this job. But I guess you just got to trust Mike Prefer and Mike Zimmer and the rest of the staff. If they think that they got an upgrade at punter, well, I guess I will believe them that they got an upgrade at punter. I definitely agree. I don't know if I like it right before the season starts. Like, I would have liked to have seen, earlier if possible, just to give them that chemistry, like you were talking about, to work together. Is he going to be a holder on field goals, or is that your long snapper?
I have no idea. I have not seen him play in a Vikings uniform yet, so we'll see.
Who's typically the holder?
It's either the backup quarterback or the punter, usually.
Yeah, and I think it's usually the punter for the Vikings, because I don't remember backup quarterbacks ever being.
And I don't even know if Trevor Siemian holds, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. So I would absolutely.
A lot of things about Trevor Siemian right now, so
yeah. But wouldn't you guys absolutely hate to have a bad hold on a field goal make our new rookie kicker miss? Because then everyone's going to jump all over him.
Oh, yeah.
It couldn't even be his fault. It could be a bad hold. Like, that's a bad situation to put the special teams unit in. So
laces up, man.
Yeah, right? I hope they made the right decision with it.
Convert your third downs. You don't need to punt. Yeah, but the Vikings went out and got one of the quarterbacks that struggles in converting third downs. So
we'll see. We will have none.
Hey, statistically, it's true.
We will have none of that discussion.
Statistically, it's true.
Mm-hmm. But I agree. Just don't punt. Just go for it on every fourth down.
Madden style. Just go for it.
Yeah, it does. It works in Madden. Just get yourself a fullback. Fullback or quarterback sneak right up the middle.
Boom.
Boom. You can do it. What's this last one you added on here, Adam? NFLPA renames their community award after Vikings legend Alan Paige.
Yeah, their Community Man of the Year award is now named after Alan Paige, which is amazing.
Like the whole NFLPA.
Yes.
That's cool.
They based it on his leadership off the field, his involvement in the community, his programs to enhance education, to advance education, literacy, play, everything. So to see Alan Paige, a veteran of the NFL who's just been a legend on the field, went off the field, pursued a further education while he was playing to become just a big part of the Minnesota legal system, move up into their Supreme Court, and just become really someone that should be looked up to by so many Vikings fans. It's amazing. It really is.
Alan Page's career after the Vikings is almost more impressive than his career as a Viking.
As an individual, he's amazing.
I'm serious. And yeah, he was a beast on the field. That's what they said in the chat too. So that's cool. That's a really well-deserving honor to name their community award after him. That's neat. That is super neat. I need an Alan Page jersey. Do you have one, Adam?
I do.
Oh, awesome. See, I don't have one yet. I need to get one. I need more.
My closet, I've got my entryway closet in my apartment, and I decided to just fill it up with Vikings jerseys.
Sweet.
Nice.
My regular clothes can go in my regular closet. I own like 3 jackets, so they can go in the regular closet. That closet right there is for Vikings jerseys. That's what it's for.
I like it. I need more Hall of Fame players jerseys.
You should get some John Randall and some Paul Krause, maybe a Franny.
I've got Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, me too.
Can't go wrong there. The problem is that they don't have a lot of offensive line jerseys as far as Hall of Famers. It's hard to get those, especially I don't know why offensive linemen don't get a lot of love when it comes to jerseys, but when the guy's a Hall of Famer, they should have a couple ready, right?
I would think so too.
A little crazy in my mind.
I'd like to get me a Corey Stringer jersey.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of those at like training camp. Every now and then you'll see one pop up.
All right, so we are not going to talk about that final preseason game too much here between the Vikings and the Titans. Minnesota did win it 13-3.
I think that matters. We won, so yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the young guys did look pretty impressive. I'll just give away a random game ball here. We'll go Brandon Zylstra, you get the Purple People podcast game ball for week 4 of the preseason. Congratulations.
There you go.
Congratulations.
And
I'm gonna dust off the old fan favorite, Matt Khalil. You get my donkey of the week. You're not even a Viking, but
you have a tendency of giving the donkey award to people that aren't Vikings, whether it's refs or coaches or.
Mm-hmm. He's old faithful. When in doubt, give the donkey to Matt Khalil.
Yeah,
he could never be wrong.
You'll never be wrong. Exactly. You'll never be wrong.
Do I have a Carl Eller jersey? No, I don't. That's one I need. I kind of want to start collecting as many of the Purple People Eaters as I can. Joey Browner. I believe Mr. West has a Joey Browner.
Well, I don't have Joey Browner.
No?
Oh.
I thought you said you were picking one up.
No?
Well, what the heck?
Nope.
Well, which Vikings linebacker were you talking about?
Scott Studwell.
That's right.
I'm in the market for a Scott Studwell.
Scott Studwell.
Joseph Robinson says Chris Carter. I got a Chris Carter. But it's not a stitched jersey. That's one of those printed on ones. But those are still pretty nice.
Those are fun to wear around because they're not super hot.
And I got one of those Dante Culpepper ones like that, but the numbers are all worn off because I wore that thing like every day.
Yeah.
Those jerseys that are like really worn like that, I think they're extra awesome because it shows how much you've used them. Mm-hmm. If you see a guy walking around in just like a perfect jersey that's like that, I don't know. That jersey's in a little too good shape, buddy.
That jersey hasn't been through the trenches of losing seasons and pain and agony.
Right.
Sweat and tears.
Yeah, so we are not going to dwell a lot on that preseason game because we've got to look ahead to Sunday, which is the Vikings season opener against the San Francisco 49ers. And this is going to be a lot bigger of a test than I think many fans understand. The 49ers offensive line is a powerful unit. The 49ers have a pass rush. They've got a couple of wily wide receivers that are going to present a challenge. I got to admit, I'm a little nervous. The Vikings are 2-0 in their home openers at US Bank Stadium, which is pretty cool. I also was in attendance at both those games. So if the Vikings lose this one, don't send me hate mail, please, because I won't be at this game.
Okay, you just told on
Matt
yourself.
Ryan's like hobbling
I'll
off the
send you hate
field.
mail. I'll do it, Adam. I'll do it.
Don't do it.
I'll do it. We lose this. Yeah, I'll do it. Shaking my fist like this at you, you know, dag nab at you, Mr. Carlson. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't care.
But yeah, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo 7-0 as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So that offense, although they don't have Jerick McKinnon, they've got Alfred Morris. They've got some young players at running back as well that can help out. What is it, Brienda? That's his name? The guy that is going to be sharing time with Morris?
I'm not sure. I haven't really looked too deep into their roster, but I know that the last time we played the 49ers on Monday night, I think that was Monday Night Football, the opening of the season, where we got absolutely leveled by them. Yeah. That was not fun. So I hope we don't have a repeat performance.
Yeah, the last time the Vikings lost a season opener was to the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's some interesting trends there. I do think that this 49ers team matches up pretty good against Minnesota. I am interested to see a little bit more about how Jimmy Garoppolo tries to handle this Minnesota Vikings defense that should give him his toughest challenge yet.
And, you know, like all Vikings fans, we're going to be watching extra close with that offensive line, just to see what's going on there. And then the A-plus topic is going to be Kirk Cousins in his debut as a Viking, and we're going to scrutinize and over-scrutinize every single thing he does on the field, because that's what happens when you pay a quarterback as much money as what you did for Kirk Cousins. You expect him to be perfect, and he probably won't be perfect, because no one is. But yeah, so that'll be our big story. Same with Dalvin Cook. That's your B topic going into this game.
Yeah, Cook didn't get a lot of action in the preseason to prove that he's ready to go, so all eyes are going to be on him.
I know last week I disagreed with Kyle Smith on that one. I would have liked to have seen him played a little more in preseason, just to shake off some of that rust and get some of that get his legs underneath him a little bit.
The next footnote should be how that defensive line, how dominant is it going to be with Sheldon Richardson plugged in there in an actual regular season game? Because those 4 guys.
And Daniil Hunter, don't forget about that. Like, Daniil been given the keys. Like, you're a full-time starter now. Full-time. Like, what's he going to do with his opportunity?
Daniil, Linval, Sheldon, Everson, those 4 guys should be one of the most intimidating and powerful fronts in the NFL. The middle should be clogged super well. There should be pass rushing and containment on both sides with how athletic both those guys are. Mm-hmm. The expectations are extremely high for that defensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Mike Hughes has to get at least 4 pick sixes, otherwise he's a bust.
Right?
Yeah.
We've got Michael Cambry on the chat that says eyes should be on Treadwell as well. And I think that since the Vikings ended up cutting the guy that a lot of us thought was going to be the Vikings' 3rd wide receiver after Jarius Wright left, it left a big opening for players to come up and prove themselves again. And Treadwell is going to get some of those snaps. And if he can prove himself capable, he's going to earn more and more and more playing time. And I think the Vikings would have absolutely no problem shifting things around, whether it's putting Kyle Rudolph on the outside, letting Treadwell run in the middle, or they've even moved Thielen around a little bit from slot to outside. And the Vikings are going to do so many things at wide receiver that if they can get Treadwell involved in that mix, it could really help to keep opposing teams on their toes.
Any production from him, I think, is what we're looking for. Red zone, of course, you want every player to look good in the red zone, but at anywhere for him, I just hope he can get it done.
Yeah. Sorry about the crinkling.
Oh, you're fine. What we don't need is Kirk Cousins to try to force the ball to Diggs or Thielen. Like, I'm a little worried about that, just a teeny tiny bit. I don't know if anyone else is on the same page with me as that. But...
You're not superstitious, but you are at least a little stitious.
Well,
yes.
That was all.
There's my Hughes.
That was all part of Kurt's MO, right? Oh wow.
You guys asked to see that. That's my signed Hughes jersey right there.
Nice. Oh, that's nice. What do you write underneath it? 2018 Super Bowl future champs?
No. See, here's how it works with some of these you got to pay for inscriptions sometimes.
Yeah.
So with his company, you're allowed 3-word inscription. And when you're trying to write...
Fuck you, Eagles.
So I said, can you write first round pick, please? And a lot of people paid the extra money to get 2 inscriptions so they could get 2018 first round pick. And he just wrote it on mine anyway, which is pretty awesome.
What are they going to do? Stop in mid-Sharpie? Like with a ruler?
Knowing that organization, the company that he's signed with for the autographs, they are pretty strict, so I'm surprised they didn't stop him and saying, whoa, stop at 2018 first round. We need more.
You pay per letter. That's how I would do it. You have to pay per letter.
I thought what was funny was through John Randall's deal for signing his autographs, he can only sign with his Hall of Fame inscription if it's a paid signing.
Huh.
But when a player walks up with like a jersey or some big awesome item at one of his free signings, he'll be like, just take a Sharpie right in Hall of Fame. It's fine. I don't care. So, yeah, I thought that was fun.
I don't know. I get it. I get that that's how players earn extra revenue and stuff, but it's weird that there's little restrictions like that on...
It is. The autograph hunting hobby can be really weird.
Yeah, that's odd.
But talking about Mike Hughes could step into a big role on Sunday because Mackenzie Alexander is still hampered a little bit by an injury. He practiced today, so hopefully he'll be able to be ready for the game. But if not, we might be seeing a little bit of Mike Hughes a little sooner than we thought.
Well, if he's as smart and Zimmer has as much faith in him as what he's talked about, then I guess now is the time to test the rookie.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge. Like I said, I think a lot of fans don't understand just how good the 49ers offense can be. Mm-hmm. The talented players they have. Yeah, Pierre Garçon isn't a big name anymore, but he's still a more than capable veteran receiver who has great cuts. And let's be honest, Trey Waynes has trouble against a lot of those Vikings, a lot of those opposing players that run solid, crisp routes. You want Trey Waynes matching up against the speedsters that like running those 9 routes because that's where he excels, is bumping them around and keeping with them down the field. So Marquise Goodwin would be the guy that you want Trey Waynes matched up against, but
Nick Foles looks like shit. Sorry, I just had to throw that out. He's like backed up all the way in his end zone, and he just like dunked the pass in the ground. That's amazing.
I still think it's amazing how Nick Foles just rose to the occasion so well.
I mean, that's what you want from your backup quarterback.
It really is.
Gotta hand it to him for that.
Well, last year we got a little bit of a taste of that, and I'm glad that it ended up in a big deal with Denver. But having a solid backup quarterback can be so important, and I do have question marks regarding ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's hope we don't have to have answers to those question marks.
Right?
I just don't. I'm okay with starting Kirk Cousins.
Now, I will say this, and this might not be popular in the chat or from listeners around, but I think that Jerick McKinnon would have presented a horrible matchup for the Minnesota Vikings, who tend to get burnt a lot by being an aggressive team and going after the quarterback. If they ran a lot of screens and passes out of the backfield to McKinnon, he could have gained a lot of yards in this game with his speed and elusive nature.
Which I imagine like that would have been how the 49ers would have used him.
And they should have. It would have been a very smart way to attack the Vikings defense, who are super aggressive and want to disrupt the quarterback and limit yardage. I'm just a little. It is a scary game because even with Alfred Morris or Brianda coming in and catching those passes out of the backfield, there still could be a lot of yardage to be had, and that's one spot where if Eric Kendricks or Ben Gedeon or Anthony Barr misses a tackle, there could be a big play.
For sure, for sure. Do we got anything else to talk about this week?
I don't even know when we started, so I don't know how long we've been going.
I think we've been going. I think we can wrap it up soon.
Yeah. Unless Mr. Foley has a lot he wants to discuss.
I got nothing.
I do want to thank everyone for over on the Viking Age, because I know I've said this the last couple months, but it's been true every month, and it's true this month again. You guys helped us to set another record month over at the Viking Age. I'm glad that everyone seems to be really enjoying the content over there. We've started doing a lot of new things. Weekly now, I'm starting a Vikings player power ranking where I'm going to be moving players up and down a power ranking based on how they perform each week. It's probably one of the most nerve-wracking things that I've tried to do lately.
Can we sway your opinions, Adam? If we send you like cookies in the mail, will you put our favorite players higher? Can you be bought?
Not with cookies, no. Not with my low-carb diet. I got to throw your cookies away, man.
What's a low-carb treat that we could persuade you with?
I don't know.
Bread?
No. Bread. Lettuce? I don't know.
Lettuce. I'm going to send you bags of lettuce in the mail.
But yeah, we got that going on, and we're going to be doing a lot more of focus. I'm going to be doing my regular reviews over there and everything, so I hope everyone can download the Viking Age app and check out a lot of the content we've been doing, because we've got some great contributors. We got awesome work over there from my co-expert, Adam Patrick, who always does a fantastic job as well. It's just passionate fans talking about the game of football, and we love that everyone enjoys joining in that conversation when they do. It's the same thing that we got going on over at the Purple People podcast. We love when you guys come over to our Facebook page and interact with us, whether it's talking about what you think the Vikings are going to do, having a question of the week, which I know that we are awful at, or commenting on a picture of Hank Basket. It's what people do.
We will get better with our questions of the week now that we are in the regular season.
I hope so. But even still, we should do. I don't know when we're going to be recording this week. I know Sunday nights are still bad for me, so we're probably going to end up going like Monday or Tuesday. Maybe after the game's over, we'll ask you guys for your donkey and game ball and why. And we could use that as kind of a weekly question of the week, just to be a little more interactive and get some more fan perspective, because after a game, it's good to know where you thought the Vikings may have went very right or where you thought some things might have went wrong. So we are always looking for your input. We love you guys in the chat. I'm really excited to see where we can go during the regular season. And I'm not sure about the Discord chat yet. I know Mr. West was working on that, but I do know that the Pick'em League, our Yahoo Survival League, is ready to roll. I've made my pick, and I made my pick based on who's going to be the starting quarterback for a particular team. So that's my hint as to who I picked.
I can't wait to see. Seriously, I love the updates each week. Just to see who gets eliminated and who picked what. And it's a lot of fun to sit and watch.
And get your friends in on it. If you got some Vikings friends who you think might want some pretty neat Viking stuff, have them sign up. Have them have a little bit of fun with us, because who knows, you might walk away with some pretty neat stuff.
Win some Vikings gear. It's free to play.
Yeah, on Yahoo. The link is on the Pro People Podcast Facebook page.
And you've got a decent chance of winning this, too. I mean, like, we have a lot of people that play, but it's not like one of these big promotions where you're going to have 10,000 people that you're playing against. Like,
no.
You gotta, if you want to play this, you have a legitimate shot to win Viking stuff.
Fun to just show off your football knowledge.
Yep.
I know we all love being Vikings fans, but sometimes it's fun to sit and wonder, are the Jets going to beat the Lions this week?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. You got anything you want to promote there, Mr. Foley?
I was going to say, if the Jets had Teddy Bridgewater still.
Poor Teddy. He got kicked off the bus.
Yep. Off the bus, Teddy. You're out of here.
See you, Teddy.
Mr. West does his art.
I do. You can. I just sold a photograph of a football helmet, Vikings football helmet, with a Harrison Smith autograph on it, with like some purple and gold flowers in the background. Someone ordered it on a postcard, which I thought was really super cool.
That is.
Like, yeah. So you can check. Yes, you can check my work out over at phantasmdigital.com is the name of my website. Otherwise, what else do I do, Dorian? I do a podcast that I have had you on. We've been having a lot of fun doing this, and I have to pay to upgrade my SoundCloud account. So it will be like a week before I can get the next couple episodes up, because that's just life.
I'm boycotting until I get Ghost Shark.
Yeah, right. Maybe Dorian and I will just have to do that one. Yeah, but check me out over on SoundCloud.com. Look for Attack of the Podcast. I've had Dorian on there for a couple episodes. We've talked some old school wrestling. That was a lot of fun. A lot of WCW talk between you and I, which was good conversation to have. And then we are going to talk about Chris Benoit as our next topic. Yeah. Yeah, we're going for it.
Wow.
I'm ready for the controversy.
We are going to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I do want to once again thank everyone who joined us in the chat. We love having all you guys here. It was awesome to get some questions and interaction. And it was nice talking to you guys about everything Vikings football.
You're not going to plug Walking Dead, Adam? You mean I got Lucille for nothing?
I figure at this point, fans should be pretty excited about The Walking Dead as it is. Fear the Walking Dead's doing pretty good. You got season 9 of The Walking Dead coming up. The Undead Walking app is available just like the app is for the Viking Age. So hopefully you guys will check that out. And I know that we hate begging like this, but if you check us out on YouTube, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you're here. I know that gets a little annoying, but if you're on iTunes or some other place, leave us a positive review if you like the show. If you don't like the show, leave a negative review. That's okay. Just be honest.
If you're on some other place, please message us and tell us where, so that we can keep a track of where you're listening to us from. We're
all over the place.
Yeah, and I don't know which ones are still active or not. So let us know if you're on some weird fucking platform.
Some weird Russian website.
We'll pay more attention to those platforms if you tell us.
Right?
Yeah.
But once again, thanks everyone for listening. And thank you to Dorian Foley and Kyle West for hanging in here with me to talk Vikings football. And I hope to see you back, hopefully on Discord, maybe. and stay classy, Minnesota.